All right, patrons, look, we're about to record our episodes, but some rumors posted to Reddit, and instead of saving them for my rumor review, Lacey and I are just going to talk about them here because they
Yeah, we are.
seem interesting.
Yeah.
And what the hell? So, Lacey, what I
All
read these,
right.
but
I have
go
my
run them down
phone.
again.
That's what I'm looking at is my phone, by
Okay.
the way.
All right.
So Dominic Monaghan, also known from Lord of the Rings and Lost,
Mm-hmm.
his rebel character is named Arvel. His character initially did not make it past the second act, but he has been confirmed to appear late in the film. So, just to give a little background, supposedly this Reddit person has been right in the past. I know a lot of people say that, but like they say that about this guy. I believe that Dominic Monaghan is on the Resistance because he was seen at a soccer game with Billy Lord and Kelly Marie Tran, and you tend to hang out with people that you're working with. So you don't see Adam Driver hanging out with them. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Next, there is a Duros character who has prominence within the Resistance. Kelly Marie Tran isn't so much in the action as much as The Last Jedi. She is, however, involved in an action sequence alongside Finn at some point in the movie. That's interesting to me because obviously she had a bigger role in The Last Jedi, but at the same time not, because I wouldn't be surprised if she wasn't in the movie. Like, as much as The Last Jedi, because it
Kelly
is a
Marie Tran, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's one of those things where it's like he's not going to get rid of the character because that'd be weird to be like, oh, where'd Rose go? Because there are a lot of people who like Rose, and all of a sudden she was a big part of the Resistance, so there was a handful of them left, and all of a sudden she's gone. That's weird. But I see JJ being like, I didn't create that character, and I kind of had an idea in mind, so we're going to diminish that a little bit without it had nothing to do with the actress or anything. Just it's logical, I guess.
Right. And then that means that they're not having a romance, by the way, guys. Remember?
Yeah, and again,
that lovely
if
kiss.
if all of this is true, I want to keep going here.
I'm just saying, if. I said if. I
Yeah.
said if this is true, then
Right.
that means they're not having a romance and that kiss was a waste. All right. So then we have Hux is not involved in the latter of the film. Not to say he dies early, but his power position is diminished and he is not a primary antagonist.
Yeah, and this is again like one of those things where I feel like someone could just logically guess this because who's gonna think that General Hux is the main bad guy at the end of the Star Wars saga? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you've been saying this for a while because I'm the one in the team that's been like, I don't want Ben Solo to be bad. And you're like, well, who else is there? It's not Hux. Like
Yeah, I
you've
mean
been saying,
Hux is cool. He was cooler in The Force Awakens than he was in The
yeah,
Last Jedi because he was more
he was more bad.
serious.
Yeah.
Yeah, he killed all those people, but he's a glorified, Admiral Piet. He's not like you're taking Palpatine and being like, okay, here's the greatest bad guy ever that we just talked about last week for 45 minutes, and now it's General Hux is the bad guy.
Yeah. Next is Richard E. Grant, who is lovely on Twitter, by the way. He is like such a wonderful follow.
Mm-hmm.
He is living his life to the fullest. Plays a tyrannical First Order general. John, do you think he's on the First Order side?
Yeah, people have said he plays a good bad guy. So I guess that would make some sense. And
But
he's British, right?
But he is in Spice World, guys.
Yeah. Aren't British dudes? If you're a dude and you're British in Star Wars, you're more likely to be a bad guy, right?
I just think it would be perfect if he was a bad guy because he seems like such a wonderful guy on Twitter and he's having so much fun that if he's a bad guy, it's the complete opposite.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why he was so shocked he got the role because he is a bad guy. All right. Next, I'm pumped about this one, if it's true. The Knights of Ren are certainly in the film. Yes. And their screen time is surprisingly lengthy. Yes. Matt Smith, is said to have been on set dressed in dark robes and holding a lightsaber prop. That is for Doctor Who, not for Matt Smith.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure Matt Smith is lovely, but Doctor Who is boring AF. Sorry. John, what do you think about this? I could see that. I could see you being a bad guy.
Yeah, why not? Sure.
I wonder if he's like the
Knights of Ren,
conflicting Knight of Ren.
Everyone is going around like, I'm going to make a bold prediction here. The Knights of Ren are going to be in episode 9. It's like everyone's saying the Knights of Ren are going to be in episode. That's like people who are like, I think Paige Tico's going to die. Of course she was going to die, Bold take. Everyone thinks they're going to be in the movie. Come on.
Yeah. Okay. Kylo Ren, my boy, my soft boy, has his helmet reforged which makes no sense. He smashed that thing so bad.
We've
But
heard
anyway.
that, that we've heard that in another rumor, right? Someone said that?
Yeah. With the red. That's what
With
they
the
said.
red
Like,
aesthetics, yeah.
it looks like a scar or whatever. Anyway, Kylo has his helmet reforged, but is more often helmetless in the latter half of the movie. I could see that.
Mhm.
Don't put Adam Driver in a helmet.
Right.
Ben, this is my favorite one, guys. Ben pilots the Falcon.
Mm.
And the fact that they're calling him Ben makes me super excited.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's weird to me. I don't know. Keep going.
Carrie Russell is involved with Luke's storyline. This depresses me because I really want her to be a bad guy. But this goes back to that Mara Jade BS that people have been pushing around. Being like,
I know, that's so dangerous. So many more articles are gonna come out about that now. My rumor review is gonna be so fed. It's gonna be so fed. Oh my god.
Just said Fed. All right, next, last but not least.
Is Fed not? I can't see Fed. Fed? No good? Fed?
Says Fed. It's just you're so hip. Can't keep up.
Oh, cool.
Last but not least, and the person wrote this in caps. Luke is involved in a flashback scene with Han and Leia, wherein Ben is dropped off to training with a young Luke. An 8-year-old Ben was cast, and he will have to talk to Luke about wanting to be a Jedi and a guardian of the good in the galaxy. Another rumor attached to this rumor is that this was shot for TFA, and they just didn't use it.
It was either conceptualized for TFA or shot for TFA. I believe it was definitely conceptualized for TFA.
Which makes me wonder if they actually have this footage of Han and Leia and Luke together.
That would be cool, because then you actually have stuff from Carrie.
And you have all three of them, and that's why maybe that could be why they're calling it magical.
Well, talk about unused stuff from TFA. That would blow people out of the water if that was in the can somewhere.
Yeah.
But the only thing that makes me skeptical about that is there was no guarantee JJ was coming back for 9. It was Colin Trevorrow, so he wouldn't have been like, all right, I'm using JJ's stuff. So I don't know. I'm very weird.
But they rewrote this whole script, didn't they? Didn't they throw the script out?
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm very skeptical of that. But I'm skeptical of all the. Is that the last one?
Last one is 2 more.
Okay.
Luke has shot scenes with both Daisy Ridley and Adam Driver, obviously.
Hey, you and I were saying that, yeah.
Yeah. And then Rey visits Tatooine.
Tatooine?
Oh,
what the hell?
Edit. There's an edit too. Sorry. There's an edit. Poe also flies the Falcon alongside Naomi Ackie's Vera Calrissian.
That's another
freaking
This is where it gets a little tricky for me.
People just assume automatically she's related to Lando Calrissian. That's
they do that all the time. Anytime there's a black person cast in Star Wars, people they got to be. Remember when John Boyega was cast? They're like, it's Lando's son.
Yeah, and then Lupita Nyong'o, they were
yeah. So those types of things at the end there, especially Poe flies the Falcon. We all know that because of that picture,
right?
This could be one of those tricky things where the guy's really smart and knows how to make things look like he knows stuff. The one thing, like you said before, if it comes out that if the guy's name comes out, like you said, Argyle or whatever the hell his name is,
right?
I forget Dominic Monaghan's cat. Then that's something. But I think
what if that's all he knows, and then he's throwing all this other stuff out there, being like, oh yeah, and then that's all he actually knows, because then you're in the danger of being like, uh-oh. Now everybody thinks he knows everything, and when all in fact he knows is this one name.
And did this guy say like, "Oh, I know this because I do this"? And was it anything like that?
It was kind of just like, "Hey guys, this is what I've heard from people."
So you know what? Because I was talking to Val about this before. This is a lot of information for one person to know. Like, that's a lot because that means he knows stuff that happened that was shot here, shot over here 5 years ago. That's a lot of info for one person to know. That makes me also very skeptical.
This person said they gathered all this intel from multiple sources around Pinewood set.
I'm very skeptical.
Why would they to push everything out at the same time? That's what I want to know.
Yeah. I'm very skeptical about all this. It's interesting. I want to keep my eye on some of the points there that are things that you really would have to know. But overall, if I had to pick a majority of these things, I think they're a little funny to me. But
So if you had to pick one thing that's true,
uh, well, the Knights of Ren are. I think they're going to be in the movie.
yeah, obviously. Do you think Matt Smith will be one of them?
Sure, why not? And then we've been predicting that Luke was going to visit both Rey and Kylo Ren. I think you and I both predicted that.
I said that he wasn't going to go to her, that he was just going to go to
Oh,
Kylo.
right. I'm
She didn't
sorry.
mean.
Right. Yeah,
But
I said
James
both.
definitely said both.
Well, I think James may have said he didn't like the idea that he was going to like bother Kylo Ren.
He doesn't like discuss.
Yeah, I didn't like Force Ghosts. Yeah, I don't know. It's all very interesting to me. Well, I'm curious. I love stuff like this because then it
Yeah.
helps muddy the water. So when other leaks come out, we're not sure. Because I like to be surprised as much as I can for the saga films.
I don't.
So keep the rumors coming.
Okay, guys, let us know what you think. What do you
Yeah,
think's true? What do you think is bogus
right.
below?
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. Go run down the list and point out a couple things you think maybe realistic, and some that you're like,
No way.
get
We
out of
want to hear.
here.
Bye,
All right, we got a
guys.
podcast to record, guys.
Yeah.